in the journey through the good life. This is Samson Olatunji welcoming you back to the Life and Living Community Platform. Are you wondering what topic is up for discussion this time? I've got an interesting but exceedingly controversial subject matter for critical consideration. In fact, I will be a blatant liar to say I expect many people, especially the youths, to be able to make the 360-degree turnaround required for us to be on the same page as regards this sensitive topic. All the same, I will boldly declare my nonsense, expecting that at different times, some people will be sober enough to identify both the sense and the none, throw away the none, keep the sense, process it, and use for personal decisions as well as for wise counsels to coming generations. The choice of this topic was a result of things I have observed for many years now. What finally pulled the trigger was a social media joke I came across recently. Somebody catching cruise had written a conversation between a man and his lady. The man suggested to the lady that since their relationship was not seeming to be working, they should consider the appropriateness of a breakup. The lady retorted, there is no room for a breakup. There are only two options. Start preparing either for a wedding or your funeral. What heights of desperation you would say? You probably will ask, why take somebody's joke so seriously? I see it as a serious matter because I'm sure that the lady in that conversation is representative of many ladies who are nursing murderous thoughts about the guys with whom they are involved, because the guys are demonstrating signs of imminent exit from the relationships. You may ask if murder is the next that should come across the lady's mind for being cheated. Permit me to respond to that with a series of light-throwing questions. Do you know how many such relationships the lady had been into that ended the same way? Can you imagine how much self-sacrifice she invested into such relationships to no avail? Do you know how many years of her life have been wasted? Can you fathom the magnitude of the losses? The intensity of emotional pains, the scope of mental scars and social dents? Perhaps she also has some bodily scars to show. This is why it assumes a dangerous and serious dimension. Am I endorsing our strategy of trying to coerce a disinterested man into a forced marriage then? Absolutely not. Doing this is tantamount to forcing ourselves into a boat that is sure to capsize. I would rather advise her to let go of the man, retreat into herself, a while for self-appraisal, to utilize the benefits of hindsight, insight, and foresight until she's sure that she's adequately prepared to go into another relationship. She should not be in haste to replace the man. Our purpose is not to concentrate on offering a remedial service to ladies in that situation, but to see how we can reduce the incidence to the barest. So our topic is dangers of dating. But before we continue, let me encourage you to hit the subscription icon first if you haven't done so. Don't forget to click the notification bell too for timely awareness of the upload of the next video. I can assure you that in this journey, we are all going to get better and wiser after every episode. Before we plunge into the highlights of the dangers of dating, it will be appropriate to first describe the concept and examine its etymology. Dating is described as that stage of a romantic relationship at which a male and a female meet by prior agreement for the purpose of mutually and consciously assessing each other's suitability for a future intimate relationship. Kindly mark my words. I said a male and a female for two reasons. First, I'm looking at dating from the standpoint of the traditional conception of romance, which recognizes the union of members of two different genders. Second, dating is no longer the preserve of men and women, boys and girls who date one another today. Dating has been widely accepted, even in societies, mostly religious, where it was formerly an anathema. One obvious reason for this is the collapse of the dividing wall between dating and another term known as courtship. Note that the mention of that dividing wall indicates that dating and courtship do not refer to the same concept. This is why you can come across a hybrid concept like Christian dating. Though whether dating is compatible with Christian morality is still a subject of hot debate and controversy. Dating is a state of gambling, assessing each other for compatibility, bending backwards and overstretching self to impress the partner, and thereby crossing the line from one's true self into a measure of fakeness. Courtship, on the other hand, is a phase in a relationship in which two people who are convinced about their mutual interest to live forever together and have committed themselves to that cause move together. Though they may not have chosen a particular date for their wedding, for a number of reasons, they are no longer searching because they are already committed to each other. As regards the beginning of the practice of dating, documented world history has it that from the advent of humans on planet Earth into the Middle Age, marriages were social contracts arranged among families. Sometimes marriage agreements were even made for many children before they were born. So there was no room for dating in the sense of personally assessing each other for compatibility or suitability. This means dating is a relatively new social phenomenon. Also, dating is known to have originated from the Western world, from where it has spread to other parts of the globe. This is therefore showing that there is room for and a need to critically assess it to know if it is a positive or negative development. And that is a difficult assignment on our hands in this brief session. If it is found to be positive, we should passionately encourage it and provide proper guidance and support for those going into it. If it is negative, however, we should not be ashamed to condemn and discourage it. Neither option is too late to make now. Historical evidence has it that secret meetings among unmarried as well as married people contributed significantly to the culture of dating because such meetings had no place within the context of families' heavy involvement in marriage arrangements. Actually, in the traditional arrangements, any meetings between two people engaged to be married was under the watchful eyes of a chaperone. In fact, the term dating is said to have entered the American language during the Roaring Twenties. I was therefore amazed when I saw a columnist claim that dating was as old as the human race because Adam and Eve did it.
I would love to ask what account of creation the person read. Another bogus claim by the columnist is, and I quote, "Your parents did it." End of quote. What? I know a lot of couples that did not do what is known today as a date. They proposed to their spouses without the conventional or the ceremonial dating stage. Of course, that was after they had taken time to study one another without any formal, let's go for a date, or what about a lunch or dinner together, paparazzi. And guess what? They have wonderful homes. Many anthropologists have written extensively about the culture of dating. Among them is Helen Fisher, who observed that dating is a game at impressing and capturing. And it plays down honesty, but elevates and celebrates novelty, excitement, and even danger. Take note of that word danger. Researchers have noted a 10% probability of violence ranging from slaps to date rape, especially among student dates. This is sometimes termed intimate partner violence. Another research report by the US Department of Justice has it that 1 in every 3 teen girls suffers physical, emotional, or verbal abuse from a dating partner. Dating is a source of emotional trauma for many teenagers who are not psychologically mature enough to handle the emotional requirements of a date. Outward appearance comprising shapes, sizes, and complexions are played up, while a lot of attributes that really matter are not accorded required attention. There is a stage in dating called the best face stage, which is a pretentious, hyped, cute habit pedestal. The person going on a date is too self-conscious and overly cautious about what they do because they know they are being assessed for suitability. They do things they would normally not do, refrain from what they love to do, but fear may not be socially acceptable, putting up a facade. Many get over this too late or never get over it until their relationships crash with attendant emotional trauma. Anyway, somebody may retort, "No, I'm not like that. I'm always my very self on a date." I tell you, you have not studied yourself enough to understand yourself. Why people try to be themselves in a courtship because of the seriousness of that stage. A couple on a date cannot completely avoid doing some temporary patching up, some branding. Whereas in true courtship, there is already a level of mutual acceptance. There is mutual commitment. Why dating couples are just trying to assess and impress each other. Somebody may say there is nothing wrong about that. After all, it is dating that snowballs into a courtship. After the days are satisfied with the glimpses they have caught of each other. What a brilliant submission. Bravo. However, while relationship experts may have recommended a maximum length of time dating should last, after which commitment is made, or the dates go apart if they are not satisfied, whether people actually go their separate ways at a reasonable time when there are signs of an unpleasant future together is a question with an obvious, pathetic answer. What is the answer? Let's meet in the next episode of this family meeting to look at the answer. Till then, keep on developing in the good life.